really heavy today. Do you know what I mean?
No. Because I have lashes on.
I wish we started with that.
Yeah, it's like, we'll just keep. Oh, great. We'll keep that.
All right. Hi.
Welcome back to Confessions of a Drama Queen. Welcome home.
Welcome home. Let me give you a hug.
A virtual hug.
It's been a week.
It's been a week. It's been a week, actually.
Dude, I feel like we've lived 6 lives
I feel like I hadn't seen you in like a year.
No, I know.
Over
and
3 days.
You know, between you, me, Rabia, and Hafsa, I feel like if it goes too long without like just seeing each other or the presence or the energy, I start feeling like the old ladies in Hercules that are like
pulling they're on their last string.
That's how I start feeling. I'm like, I'm aging in this process.
Yeah, and I feel like so much life happens. I'm like, wow, she's living her own life. What does she think about all day? What does she talk? Who is she talking to all day? Yeah, what is she doing? Because we always do this where we're like, we'll update each other, send pictures, blah, blah, blah. Disconnected.
Dude,
off the face of the earth.
You know, this is something we've talked about, that like we will be on trips with our friends, like our girlfriends, and all of our girlfriends will like check in with their family. Like it was my bachelorette trip, and I remember my friends were calling their moms to be like, look at where we're staying. And I was like, oh, like,
I don't even call my husband. No. I got peer pressured into sending one text message, and not because anyone directly. So this weekend was no, but it ties in together, I promise. This weekend was in Lake Tahoe, which stunning. Beautiful. I didn't realize that we're in California the whole time, which is already beautiful, but it was giving Vancouver. It's giving Colorado. It's like not
fair that they get that much in one state. Like it should be 4.
It's so nice. And so nice. It was so snowy and mountainy, but the weather wasn't too bad. But I was there for a bachelorette trip, and the bride's so in love, as she should be. And she's like calling her mans. And then I'm like, I know. Sweet. And then I'm like, okay, like that's so sweet. That's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, that's so sweet. That's so nice. And then my other friend, she calls her husband, and I'm like, wait, am I like mean?
And this is not the first time this happens.
Yeah.
Every time.
I was like, am I not being nice? Like, should I guess I should reach out to him? So then I texted him, and I was like, hi. How's it going? He's like, good. What are you up to? And every time I text him on a trip, he's always surprised. He's like, hey. What's going on? And I'm like, nothing. I just thought I'd say hi. This is what we did today. I'll usually update, but I am like not one to like call.
No, I'm the same way. And I literally remember one time being like, wait, everybody else's husbands and them are talking all the time. Like, why aren't Muzi and I talking? Like, should we be talking? And then he started talking to me, and I was like, I don't want to talk to him. Like,
oh my God, on your bachelorette trip, as soon as we went to this sick Airbnb. And as soon as we got there, that's what I was
talking about, where all the girls had their phones. They called their moms, their mans.
They're FaceTiming their mans.
We are taking pictures of ourselves in front of the villa.
No, and then I called, because I got peer pressured again. Oh, yeah. I called my husband. He didn't answer. And I was like, whew, okay, don't have to do that. And then our friend, she called her husband, right?
Oh, yeah.
And she's showing her husband the villa. And she's like, where are you? And he's like, oh, I'm at Amna Abdus. And I was like, oh, so much. And Abdus is sitting right next to him. And I was like, even though I didn't want to do the dance of like showing, but
then you just like, you're like, I'm a little peeved.
Wow. Yeah. You didn't answer my call.
They just need to give us one reason. Not even.
That's the only reason I needed.
They need to give us.
I got it out of my system.
Sindoor type. And we're like ready to pop off.
Yeah, but when I'm on a trip, like a girl's trip especially, I am so disconnected. When I'm on a girl's trip, I genuinely feel like I'm touching grass again. Like I feel like some part of my brain that's been shut for such a long time opens up, and I'm like, there's real people in the world. Oh my God. Like there's real worlds going on. So you're making it sound like we're like
no, but okay. I'm so sorry. I'm literally about to drop the entire table. I just because I feel like you come to life when you're on a girl's trip.
No, truly.
Yeah.
You come to life. Everyone's sharing their makeup. Your test, like everyone's in each other's space and the air and the energy.
And you don't have any of, and we don't even have kids yet, Amna, but like you don't have any of your like real life responsibility. You're like, fuck off everybody, everything.
Nothing else exists. It's just us. The first day and a half is just spilling tea, catch up. So what have we been up to? Where are we? This is going on. That's going on, which is so juicy. And then you're making all these new memories, and like everyone's schedule makes sense. Everyone's getting ready together at the same time. We have this allotted time for photos. We know who the photographer is. We know who the camera person is.
And because there aren't boys, there's like every time we've done our couples trips with the guys, it's like it takes one domino. It takes one boy to get peeved about how long we're taking, and all of them fall. And all of them are like, you guys. And we're like, oh my God, I'm so stressed out.
Or they start doing that thing where they start talking amongst each other right next to us about like, and they just
so
around.
long.
And we're like, go outside.
Literally,
go do
something.
Go take a walk. Like come back. Like you, and they know. They know every time that we're going to have to get ready and we're going to have to take photos.
When it's just us, it's like, you look so
And you know what else? On girls' trips, like the fridge stocked Trader Joe's items, sparkling drinks. We have a charcuterie board going on throughout the weekend. It's like
you guys had like you guys made the
little mocktails and a cute glass, and it's
matching
like
colors. And
we're matching shoes. We're making charms. We're just having so much fun. We have coordinated fits.
Dude, in Lake Tahoe, it's giving like the bougiest like girl camp vibe.
That's exactly.
Oh my God.
I was trying to aim for like rich women who go skiing all the time.
Yes.
Which I don't.
One day.
I went one time actually, and I wasn't that bad.
No. One thing you guys should know about Amna is she is not afraid of doing any like adrenaline anything. Like she's just like,
or so
she pretends
I am afraid,
not to
but I'll
be,
do it.
And she'll do it, and her hand-eye coordination is fire.
Thank you so much.
You did ski. That was great. We should do that all the time.
Just be a dent in this thing by the end.
but she's so good. You're like, but
I'm like, continue, please. And I'm so good at what else?
She's so good at that shit. Like when we went skiing on the little bunny hills. I mean, I only went on the bunny hill. I went down 2 times. I was like, I'm tapped. Somebody bring me the vibes. Like I want coffee. I want warmth.
But you're good about that. You'll try it. But you'll still bring the vibes. You're not going to sit there and complain and be like, I'm going home now. Like
I'll enjoy it.
You
I'll
got
do
all
a little
the footage.
Yeah,
you did a great thing.
You are like, take me to the next one. Take me to the next one. I'm like, look at our hero. Look at our Olympian.
You just go, and it's a bunny hill. There's like 5-year-olds that I'm knocking over on the way.
Like, our family is not like an athletic family like that.
Yeah,
so it's just
I mean, I'd like to try. And so one of my friends, she is like an avid skier.
I say this as you are talking about like your fear of skiing.
Well, I was so confident because she and I had some time at the end. And so she was like, do you want to go skiing? And she's an avid skier. Her name's Amna too, also actually. And I was
another
like,
lore about you and your friends. There's 3 of you.
I have, it's so crazy because in my friend group of like my college girlfriends, 3 of us have the same name. So there's 3 Amnas. Then we have an Amna Rana, but then there's someone whose first name is Rana.
Yes.
And then we have Zara and Yasmin, who, you know,
are unique.
They're unique and I love them.
Names. I actually love their names. Both
They're beautiful names. Yeah. But it's just so confusing with at least 3 to 4 of us that 3 of us names are Amna.
How do you ever know if someone's talking to you?
So people in college used to ask us, because we would obviously do everything together as a group. And so whenever they make you do like a fun fact or whatever, and then we'd stand and be like, my name is Amna. And the next person would be like, my name is Amna. And then people would ask us like, are you guys triplets? And I'm like, why the fuck would our parents name us the same name? You idiot. That doesn't make any sense.
I feel like that's the first thing my mind went to.
Why would our parents
point.
Be like, you 3 Amna? Yeah, you 3 Amna as one. Like I would love that. But one of the Amnas, she's very much into the ski life. And that's who I'm trying to be. That's who I was trying to embody. I was like, I want to give a woman who skis all the time with her family. She has
the fur.
You know, the fur and that's the vibe I was trying to achieve. Without any of the actual responsibilities. And she was like, are you ready to ski? And I was like, absolutely. And the whole weekend, honestly, maybe I Nazareth ourselves, like I Nazareth us, because the whole weekend I'm looking at the slopes and I'm like, I think, you know, I'll start on like the bunny slope and then I'll just meet you there. I'll just meet you at the thing. But it just worked out that we couldn't do it, but that's okay because we still had such a good time. We went tubing. That was so much fun.
That's also a relief. But wait, the tubing, have you done water tubing?
Yes, one time.
Okay, which one's more fun, water tubing or snow?
Honestly, I think snow tubing because you go really fast, but water tubing is kind of scary because I just have a fear of like if I can't see the water beneath me, I start panicking. And so if I'm like gonna fall over, you know what I mean? Right. I don't like depth. So
yeah, you have a thing with depth. That's another thing you should
emotionally and physically. So I just have that problem.
Emotionally, you're like a emotional slut. Like you're like an emotional.
I'm
depth
just fishing
slut.
for compliments from you today. I'm like.
Like, how could you even say that about yourself?
Thanks. But circling back, that girls trips, like I literally like feel like a part of my brain expanded. And then I was thinking, and me and my girlfriends were talking about this too, where we're like, what do guys do?
I don't know, but you had like a mental back crack.
What? What did you hear? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, I had the best mental back crack of my life. On the trip, I was talking about how we gave each other actual back cracks, and then my back started tingling. And I didn't want to ask anyone.
I did mine as soon as I sat in the chair, and
I don't know how to do it like that, but Son and I like to give ourselves back cracks.
Anyway, of back cracks.
Yeah, I just don't know what guys do when they get together. I don't understand what I'm like. So how do you?
Yeah, what's their like release?
Is that the equivalent for men? Like a girl's trip, a boy's trip? Like, does it do it for you the way it does it for women? Because I just choose not to believe. I just don't believe that.
No,
I just don't believe that.
Like, I feel like they also feel like it's a release, but I feel like who's creating the vibes, you know? Like girls are so good at the like, oh, let me light a candle and have some music going and the drink should look nice and everything's gonna like, you know, we're gonna keep up with everything as we're going and we're so nice to each other about it. And I feel like for guys, who's maintaining all that with like joy and
couldn't tell you the joy, who's spreading the joy and the merry of it all.
Who's like, are they? I just feel like they would move so much slower.
I just don't even know what they talk about. Actually, what are you guys talking about?
Do they speak?
I don't think they do.
Yeah.
No, I know for a fact they don't actually, because anytime my husband has had his same best friend since he was like in 7th grade, and one of them he'll come home and be like, so-and-so's getting married. One, no idea.
Same.
Who? No idea. Did you know about this? How long have they been dating? Not a clue.
Oh my God.
Not a single clue.
Muzi's friends are like, they also go on trips, by the way, and I feel like he gets a great like, It's
I'm
like
sure they feel like they're having fun.
No, like you're like, I'm sure they think they're having a good time.
They think they're doing really good.
They think they're doing well, but like we know better.
Yeah.
Like, of course we know.
Because what are you guys talking, unless you guys are talking about like the juiciest tea late at night and you're just choosing not to tell us, which is like, maybe that's a good decision for you, I guess. But I don't believe that.
Yeah, it's also like, there's like, I need no more proof that we are different species, because if you just enjoy the silence more, than sharing the juicy stuff. Like,
but they start with the silence. I feel like I have to start with the juicy to just get it out of my system.
That's what I'm saying.
And then I feel like guys think it's crazy when you ask questions
or when you share things
that are like, I feel basic knowledge.
They're like, that's so invasive.
Like, again, one of his friends, he was like getting married, or I remember if he was engaged at the time. There was something going on, but I was like, oh, who is she? Show me.
Yeah.
How long have you guys been dating? What's going on? And it was like, oh, I am okay. And you know what's so funny though? All the other guys though, they do get quiet. They're like,
no. Oh, what's going on? Want the information. They get no information. But then when we're doing deep dives of anything, they're like, wait, what's up with that? You didn't update me.
Yeah. And it's information about their friends or like people they know. They'll be like, what's going on? And I'm like, you don't know about that?
Oh, yeah.
That's your cousin. That's your so-and-so.
Old news too,
yeah,
by the way.
Talking
like,
about? We're
up.
so past that. We've already had the confrontation and everything. And it's not even something that we had. You know what I mean? It's just information that's basic knowledge. And you guys don't know anything that's going on.
So I love so much the way that we've all turned on men. Like, we're like half joking, but we're not. But like, even this conversation is like sending me, because we're like, they just don't know joy. They don't know happiness. They don't know anything.
They don't know how to be on a trip by
themselves.
Why
would they? Like, look at them. Like, that's literally. And then this girl was like, I don't like when boys nap. Why are you napping? Like, shouldn't you be working? Like, don't you have work? Or like, no, not nap. Sorry. She said sleep in. She was like, and it reminded me of your dad. She's like, my dad, even on a day where he's like, not working, like he woke up early and he did this, you know, like did stuff for the house, the garden, like he had things to do. He was productive and busy. Why are you like basically like fucking?
Why do you think you can relax? Like
idle?
What's going on? Yeah.
Like why are you
idle? Yeah.
Why are you idle? And it was just killing me, because I'm like, dude, the way we've become is so funny, and I love it. I'm like, yeah, why are you idle?
Yeah, what do you have to sleep for? What did you do the night before? I know not go out anywhere. So, and that too, like they don't need to go out as much. You know?
No, oh my God, we were talking about that yesterday. Like we went to this concert last night.
Oh my God, we went to the concert. We went to the Millennium Tour concert.
Which me, Amna, and our girlfriends in Chicago, we found this like randomly, like it wasn't anything even marketed super.
Yeah, like, it was just like, oh, this is happening. Sana texted me while I was in Tahoe, like, I'm getting you this ticket.
Yeah, like basically we decided like 5 days before.
Yeah.
This tour was coming. I found it like 5 days before. I was like, who wants to go? Dude, the lineup seemed like phenomenal. Solid. Like it's like our childhood in ones. Omarion, Bow Wow, fucking Trey Songz, Ray J, like Rick Ross, Bobby Valentino, like just like Plies. There's just like a great lineup. So we were like, okay, this is gonna be great. usually we decide as the girls that this is what we're going to do. And then we're like, do we want the boys to join or not? And then we're like, are they going to join? We like weigh our options and then we like make a executive decision and we're like, this is what we're going to do.
But there's a certain vibe that I feel like, I don't know. It just, you need the right ratio because there are certain concerts where I don't care. But then there's certain concerts where you're just like,
some of the, there are some that just feel more like this is a girl one.
This is like a girl one. This is a girly thing to do. This is what we're doing.
And we were like, why would they be free on a Thursday night?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you have things
working.
to do. You have work tomorrow as we have work the next day. We're like, you have work tomorrow. You have things to do. And people will cut it out. But when me and my girlfriends were talking about this, that like, what do you guys talk about on trips? Like, do they have fun? Like, who's leading? Whatever. Like, who's setting the scene? Blah, blah, blah. And talking about how we don't know what they talk about. We're like, we love, what's that phrase where it's like, you love to beat a dead horse?
Yeah.
We're like, we love to beat the dead horse. And then you beat the dead horse again. And then you realize the horse is a donkey the whole time. So now you have to start all over and do the whole thing again. And I just thought of that.
There's so many TikToks lately of like, gonna go see my girls and rehash the same old thing stuff from the 80th angle. And I'm like, that's what our whole foundation was built on.
I know. We went to the Millennium Tour. Give me your honest thoughts about it.
3 out of 10.
Was a 3 out of 10. Honest, okay.
That's kind of mean, right? I will say we weren't there for Ray J, Ying Yang Twins, or like we weren't there for the first few.
That's true. But you know what? Okay. I would give it like a 4 out of 10. Is it the worst concert I've been to? No. Was it the best I've been to?
But it was second worst, you said.
Second worst. It was my second worst. But then I wasn't sure if it should be second or third because this is so controversial that I wasn't sure where to place Nicki's.
Oh yeah. No. Well, yeah.
Because okay, here's one of the worst concerts I've been to.
I'm so scared to say this.
I know. Okay, well, let me actually say why we're giving it the rating we're giving it, right? Because
there's a lot more than just the performer. We're talking ambiance. We're talking.
You know what it is? I don't like when millennial like pop artists try to sell me their new stuff because I'm not here for that. I want the old stuff.
Especially when there's a lineup of like 7 of you. Like we're here
when you know that the crowd is millennials and we're all coming to hear the music that we all know, stop trying to give me your new stuff. You're allowed maybe 2 new songs.
Okay, and maybe. This is because there's a huge lineup of them. If it's like obviously you go to Beyonce or Billie or anyone, they're promoting it out. That makes sense. Even then, at least give us a couple of the old ones, obviously. Yeah. But like you're doing your new album. But for this lineup, what do you think we're here for?
It's called the Millennium Tour.
What do you think we're here for?
I want to hear the old school, like take me back to high school. I want to cry. That's what I want to happen. So I feel like there wasn't enough of the old stuff. So we were kind of going in like this weird waves. And it wasn't just us. A lot of people were sitting down.
Yeah. Also,
you know what I mean?
I will say some of the old stuff they did, it was kind of like in my head, the music video and the vibe of it is like a nostalgic little bubble, kind of like a dream vibe, you know? And then you see it in real life and the artists we realized after like in their late 40s and you're like, oh, it's like the bubble pops and you're like, I can see too clearly. Yeah. And they still have their old music videos. And then I'm like, wait, that's what like, you know what I'm saying?
Like they look like such babies in their music videos.
Yeah, babies, but also the music videos are so like, I'm like, what is this PowerPoint presentation in the back? Like it was so like you guys.
I know. Like, afterwards, we looked up all their ages, except Trey Songz looks so cute still.
Trey Songz looks super cute, and Bow Wow's so cute too.
Yeah, Bow Wow looks. He looks. He's fine. He's okay, but he looks great for his age. Like he's doing just fine. But Trey Songz actually looks really cute.
Yeah, and Trey Songz can actually sing.
Yeah, he's saying beautifully.
Because low-key, some of them, I was like, oh.
Yeah, he sang really, really well.
Yeah.
But we were looking up their ages and the youngest was 39 and we were like, oh.
And when we were talking about it, we're like, they're like, I kept saying they're our age. I was like, how old do you think Bow Wow is? She's like, our age.
Because in my mind, I'm thinking of that movie. What was that movie?
Yeah, the basketball movie.
No, Like Mike. I was thinking of Like Mike. Yeah. So I'm like, he's obviously my age. He's not our age.
No, so then how old was he when we were like, I have to go back. But also, guys, quick segue, quick side quest. ChatGPT or like just like having is everything. Like when I tell you best friend, like even last night after the concert when we were like doing our debrief, it was us two and 2 of our best friends, Kay and Sadia. And we're doing our debrief and I'm like, normally like a normal person, like now this feels ancient, which is insane. But you go to Google and you look up each individual artist's like, you know, age, and it's like you go one by one. I went to chat and I was like, tell me all the ages of the headliners from the tour. And I'm just like, I just want to hug her. Like, I just actually want to hug her. She's also like my therapist half the time. Like, insane.
I know. I talked to her so sweetly, and Rabia taught me that, because Rabia when I realized how comfortably Rabia is talking to ChatGPT, I'm like, what am I doing making this a business transaction?
Oh, I talked to her very sweetly.
So now I talk to her so casually, and every time I get into a fight, I always ask ChatGPT, and I'll always give my side. I always try to say, like, this is what I said, this is what he said, what do you think? And anytime ChatGPT's been like, you're in the right, I'm like, the entire internet thinks you're wrong. Just saying.
So I, the other day, went to ChatGPT to like try to talk out a problem, but I realized also
you were the problem.
No, I realized that you could very quickly turn it into a weapon because it's a one-sided story. So I'm like so mad, and I'm like, like I'm saying all this stuff, and then she's like super agreeing with me, right? And I'm like, right. And then I was like, I need to slow down because this could create a monster inside me, because I'm not giving any context about like how much Muzi. It was probably like, I'm trying to deal with this crazy girl.
I try to give context so that when I am right, I'm like, oh, look. See,
but I didn't realize it would. I realized I have to feed it that information. I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, back to the show.
Where we were.
But okay, so overall, it was fun. It was funny. What were you?
No, it was fine. It was a good show. We had a great time. But was it one of our best concerts? No. And it's so crazy because the one concert that I went to on like a whim, I bought my ticket the day of. I had no expectations. I was like, yeah, it'll be a good time. I had the best time of my life. 50 Cent. 50 Cent's concert was the best concert I've ever been at. And I don't think I've gone to all the concerts in the world, but I feel like I have a decent amount under my belt. The time of our lives. He gave us banger after banger after banger. He gave us everything we asked for.
50 Cent. And Amna had said this when we were there, that when we were listening to 50 Cent, it was like Dumbledore pulling out the like memory out of his brain. It was like the lyrics, and you just retained it. Like you just retained it. And
it was muscle memory. It was just coming out of you.
It's like taking you back to all these like nostalgic memories.
It was oh my God, it was such a good concert.
And he did so good. Like his dancers were great. His setup was great. Like every part of it was just so good. He brought up the cast of
Power.
Yeah. It was just so well done.
Such a good time. And he played all the right music that he knew people came to hear.
In the right order too.
In the right order. Ended it perfectly. Literally so one of the best concerts I've ever been
to. And we keep trying to compare. We even went to Billie Eilish and we were like, so how does it stack next to like 50 Cent?
Next to 50 Cent.
Like we literally have been
weighing him as our everything, because it was so fun. Billie was
Billie was amazing.
Billie was amazing.
Kygo was really good too.
Kygo, we always have a good time.
We've done a lot of concerts together.
I've done Russ. Russ has been great. You know,
the first concert I ever went to was the concert that we went to together. But I don't know if that was
your first concert ever.
Yeah, in college. It was my first concert.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay,
was it not yours? That's so like I feel so like
my first concert
now
doesn't. Hold on,
you'll
feel a lot better.
Let's tell them what it is.
My first concert wasn't even a real concert. It was like One Direction was in town, and they were doing like a Q&A, but they only sang like 4 songs, and it was in broad daylight at a baseball stadium. And the only reason I was allowed to go is because I brought my cousin with me. I brought my cousin with me, and because I told my dad that Zayn Malik is performing. I said exactly like that, Zayn Malik. I didn't say Zayn. And I was like, Dad,
you're like, Muslim. I need to convince him. I can't do this.
Now. Like I have to be at this concert. This is a Muslim. Basically, it's a Nasheed, honestly.
Yeah, like I'm supporting our local community.
Muslim artists. And my dad was like, okay, fine, take your cousin. And I was like, okay. So I guess that was my first American concert. And then after that, I think it was Lana.
Okay, so by the way, the concert that I'm talking about that we went to when we were in college, that was Lana Del Rey, and we were so excited. And it wasn't that Lana was a bad performer.
No.
She was a phenomenal performer. Like I would love to see her. I play her and Billie's duo from what they sang at Coachella last year. I play that all the time in the house. Like I love it. But anyways, we were so excited. One, it was like so far away. We had no idea it would be so far. It was raining. It was cold. It was an outdoor stadium, and we had the furthest seats where you had to stand, and we were standing literally like this,
like huddled
in the
together,
rain.
shaking.
It's freezing. We're
cold.
shaking, and we're like,
We can't even see anything. We're standing behind a pole.
We can't see anything.
Yeah, we saw nothing. We barely heard anything because the rain was pouring so intensely.
To get there.
Yeah, it was bad. I think we got there really late too, so we missed a good chunk of it. So
we left before Young and Beautiful. We were really trying to hold on, and then we were like, dude, we can't do it.
And I've never left a concert since. You know what I mean? So that was just really rough. That was one of the not so great concerts. Okay. We've talked about how much we love Nicki, so I feel like I should preface with like, obviously we love Nicki,
yeah.
But I was kind of disappointed in the Nicki concert.
Same.
You know, like we had fun. She hit some good songs and stuff, but I don't know, something was.
No, I agree. You know what? It felt like, okay, we're such women, by the way, because even during the concert, we were like, her heart isn't in it. You know,
maybe
like,
she just had a bad start. And maybe she had a bad day.
This version of her isn't who she is anymore. And so she just, you know, she's grown out. Like literally we were sitting discussing that because she wasn't on stage half the, we were like, I don't know where she is. Maybe it is just a bad night.
Yeah, we even blamed Provision. We're like, maybe we just can't see her. Maybe she's there, but we just can't see. Sign up for this concert was like, guys, I put my contacts on. I can find her.
Yeah. Quick side quest. So I have a long-term issue of just like, there are certain things, most of the I'm an oldest sister. How'd I do like this? I'm an oldest sister. I'm an oldest granddaughter. And I am pretty type A I'm pretty bossy and type A about most things. There are certain things that are just like life admin that I am sometimes I'll go to sleep being like, am I going to go to jail? Like so afraid because I just don't do things the way like normal things. Like I have contacts and like eyeglass. I have a fucking eye prescription and it's like not anything serious, but for like 9+ years, I maybe 20% of the time wear contacts and glasses.
Yeah. And I don't know when you're not wearing contacts.
I'm never wearing them.
So when you like I've done what do you mean?
Guys, I've done Thailand, I've done every major trip of my life, Italy, everything, like South Africa, the animals, everything. And I have been no contacts, no glasses.
Wow.
That entire, like all of it. Recently, I realized I should probably, because my prescription really isn't that
I don't know if you want to say, because I don't want to like add to your nightmare of going to jail, but like you also just told me that you didn't have a license.
Since Sadia's bachelorette trip, I haven't had a like, physical license.
How many years? 3-4 years at least.
Sadia got married in 2019.
Shut up. That's crazy.
I know.
I didn't know this whole time you haven't had a license. She told me she has a DMV. I'm like, wow, she's responsible. She's doing what she needs to do because she's obviously already up to date. She's
and
doing
by the way,
work.
the only reason I finally got to the DMV, I went a year and a half ago. I didn't realize it'd been a year and a half since, but basically I didn't have it since 2019. And then in 2023, Musi was like, we have to go figure this out. And he had all the paperwork ready and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, let's go. And I'm not going to lie, I kicked and screamed. I'm like, I don't want to do this because it had been so long that I had to take the written test, the driving test, everything.
That's
he brought me a study pamphlet and he was like, acting like my dad there. He's like, good job. Next step, he had the cash ready. He had everything like ready to go. And I was like, fine. And I went and did it. But because we were in between, like, we didn't know where he's getting residency at that point. So we're like between his parents, my parents had just moved. Like there's like so much movement going on. So we didn't have like a permanent address. So I had a paper version and then my ID was sent to me, but then it got what is it called? Like it got sent back.
Why?
Because the address was like my parents' old house. So he sent it back and then I wasn't here, I was in Tennessee or whatever, and then nothing happened. It just dissipated. So then I went back to the DMV and Muzi again was like, he made the appointment. He's like, you have to go. And I was like, okay. So I went. I feel so legal. I have a license. I have a fucking contacts on lately.
Yeah, you can see.
I can see.
I know it's a whole new world for you out here.
We went to the concert and I'm like, I feel like I picked the wrong concert to have like 20/20 vision. Like I should have just left it blurry. Like everybody else, I should have done that.
Question for you.
Okay.
If specifically, I guess should say I should say Jeff Bezos. But like if you were asked to go to space, would you go?
No, I would definitely go to space.
Okay.
Like as in depending on my fear of the situation, sometimes I can't go to a concert without thinking I'm going to die. So like,
but yeah, you did think we were going to die so many times.
Yeah, every times I go to concerts, I think, dude, when we were going, sorry, I know I'm taking seconds. You're like, fucking, I keep trying to get out of this conversation.
What is it? Don't forget it.
I was just going to say that when we went to Kygo, I almost didn't go because I was like, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. We go to the concert yesterday. It was in a smaller theater. Further when I was like, I'm cool, I'm chilling. So I'm saying I would go, but depends on, it's because anxiety.
Would you go to this one? Would you go to this one?
I would go to space.
Okay. How long do you think you could make it in space?
Not long.
I think, no, like, what's the longest? What's your cap?
Okay, I think I could make it a month.
A month?
Yeah.
That's pretty solid.
I think I could.
I was going to say a week.
But what's the return guarantee rate? Like, are we 100% sure I'm coming back?
I would hope so.
No, but like, you can't say that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the statistics
are. Okay, what's
yours?
yours? Would you go?
A week. I would go. I think a maximum I could do is probably a week.
Maximum you could do is a week?
Yeah.
You could survive an apocalypse here, but the maximum you'll do in space is a week?
Yeah. Because... Oh, that's so crazy to you because you haven't seen the movie Gravity. That's why you don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
but
yeah.
This is not giving anything away, but like just the concept of being in space and something going wrong. Like the 2 astronauts that were stuck in space for 9 months.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. What's the return rate? You know, assuming we come back in 1 month, would you go?
Sure, but it also depends on the spaceship.
I love how I have to convince you and it's like millions and billions. And then I'm like, please,
come with.
Okay, but the way that speaking of the situation,
where I'm
very cringy
because of everything that's going on with the Jeff Bezos' wife, Katy Perry, Gil King. Yeah. They all went to space. Okay, when I saw them, I saw the video of them walking to the space shuttle. Right, I didn't see Katy Perry or anybody else that I know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I didn't see anyone that I know. So first I was like, okay, women astronauts, STEM. Women in STEM. Yeah. Also, their faces are beat. This is so cute. Yeah. Look at them going to space. And I was so excited because I thought they meant that there was going to be, for the first time, all female astronauts.
That's what I thought initially, too.
So and then I was like, this is the best thing ever. Then I saw Gil King. And even though I knew it was Gil King, because had already told myself it's astronauts going to space, I was like,
Gil King looked really cute, by the way.
She did. She looked great.
Yeah.
But I was like, is she there to like interview them? Like, what's she doing? She's doing the walk with them. That's nice, inclusive. And then I saw Katy Perry and I was like, what's happening? What in the morning show is going on? So I was so confused and I was like, they're going to space for how long? A week, a month? No one had any previous discussions with us.
That's the thing. There was no prep in the meet. There was no like, this is what's about to happen. Like, there was nothing.
Yeah, like, guys, guess what? Next week they're going to space. Like,
raw dogged it fully. And yeah, when they left, I was like, Katy Perry's brave because
what is this, like a Xenon situation?
And
like,
then
who's going up there? And
they come back
in 10 minutes.
11 minutes. She touches the ground. That shit's crazy. Her interview was crazy.
It was really crazy.
And love is love, and I love love, and love loves me. And I was like, can you what did the earth look like? What
okay,
did
that's
the earth
the other
look
thing.
Like?
Don't go to space and make it seem like it's just like I went to space and I just
it's pick me behavior.
Like,
you want me to ask questions.
If you went to space and you're not an astronaut, tell me the shit that I want to know. Who peed? Who pooped? Was there time? Did you guys go beforehand? Why are we there?
Like, what did Earth look like?
I didn't know it was an ad until you told me that.
Yeah, okay, but I could be lying because I just saw it on a couple posts. So like, I don't know how accurate that is, but what I heard was, Luke, do you know? Okay. I'm like, maybe someone has the information. Yeah. But what I heard was that like the video of them going up and coming back down, like whatever, at the end of it, there's like a marketing thing about it. And the whole thing was just done super cringy, awkward. Like,
it was. And you know what?
But I would go to space. I would go to space, but I just think their approach was really weird.
The approach is weird. The vibes are weird. The context around them going to space was weird.
Her thinking she's an astronaut is weird.
Was actually insane.
That was crazy.
If she's an astronaut,
thinking she's gonna
like,
sing E.T. is weird. I'm like, I know you're.
I was like, if you're going to space and you are a singer and you have a song called E.T. and you are in space and you're not singing, I don't want to see a stupid flower. I want you, give me a performance. Give me something up there to do what? Up there to do what? You're not taking notes. You know, you're not like, there's no science experiment going on.
She's acting like she did a shrooms trip. That's what she's acting like.
She's acting like she went up there and they like brought back like a piece of the moon or something and they're running an experiment. Like, I didn't understand. I'm like, okay, so you didn't sing ET and like you're offended that we asked. God forbid. God forbid we asked what you put out there. So I just didn't get that. I was like, why are you guys going for that reason? Because I want to be like, yeah, women, yeah, we do that. We can do it.
But it should have been astronauts, obviously.
It should have been astronauts. I also feel like because eggs cost like $15.
Yeah.
You're asking us at a bad time.
Yeah.
To like enjoy
and
this.
it's a weird cast.
It's a weird cast if you're asking us at the wrong time. If eggs were like $3, I'd be like, okay, who's next? Who's
there
going?
There weren't like wars happening.
Yeah,
and
there's so
people
much
starving.
going on. Like, this is not the time, you guys.
I get that context. I don't think it's a big deal that, okay, I think that it's gonna happen that people are gonna do like this type of stuff. Like even since we were like, the world is always moving in 600 billion.
Xenon.
He's right. It's gonna keep happening. But I just feel like obviously the approach was weird. It was cringy. The whole thing, it was just really distasteful. It was done very distastefully. There was probably no tasteful way to do it. Like they should have just scrapped it and done it like the right way. But it was just done super fucking weird. And it's crazy because Gen Z is like no tolerance for bullshit. And I love that about that. Yeah, I love it.
I love that about
I love it. Sometimes I feel like gaslit by our generation all the time. And then I see them and I'm like, you're right. Like,
yeah, like what are you doing?
Like, we should have boundaries.
Yeah, we should have boundaries. We should have self-respect. We should think about these things.
Yeah, like we were toxic. But another thing that is going on right now that people were like, fucking, you guys have to touch on this, is the Scandinavian scarf of it all.
The dupattas of it all.
The dupattas and lengas that are, okay, so like basically, I mean, you guys all know, all over TikTok, all over social media, there's like these opoly, type dresses, like the Western brands and companies, European brands and companies are creating, and it's literally lengas. Like it's quite, and I even saw Carly Bible wear something and I was like, that is dead ass like a lenga. Like somebody made a beaded lenga and then a satin skirt. And I was like, that's crazy. That's dead ass a lenga. But regardless, there's a influx of like the vibes being very South Asian centric. And then just like nobody saying that that's where it came from. I feel like it's fine that they're making those outfits, but to be like calling it like that, it's only cute and trendy because it's considered a Scandinavian Western trendy vibe is so fucked.
I don't even know where the Scandinavian vibes came from.
There was like weddings that girls were wearing like the thin little like dupatta over their dresses, and I don't know where the weddings were or like what Pinteresty girls did it, but somebody basically started. That's where it started.
Yeah, but why call it Scandinavian? Because I was looking up on TikTok actual Scandinavian outfits, and they don't look. There's not much correlation. Also,
then what the fuck?
Like what I saw, and I'm gonna double check live as I'm doing this because what I saw was like. It was more of like a gown, Scandinavian. We'll cut this part out. Hold on. Scandinavian women's.
But like, while you're saying that, I'll just say like, it's crazy because it was like right in the middle of like Coachella and everything. And so everybody's been like calling it out a lot. Like, you guys, like, come on, like that's so fucked. And I'm like, yeah, like it's literally a lenga. They're full lengas and all of the beadwork and stuff. And I'm like, we'll keep like seeing what's going on because I'm curious to see what keeps happening.
You know what it is? It's the problem. Well, one, actually, let me say this part, then I'll get to the problem. The problem is not to acknowledge that it is something that is a South Asian concept, right?
Fully.
I didn't even know
copy and
until
paste.
all of this came out that those jackets with the fur only over here, like around from your neck down and around the sleeves, are from Afghanistan. I didn't know that they originated there.
I didn't either.
And so and there's like hundreds of examples of all this type of appropriation, right? If someone was like, oh my God, we love lengas, we love this outfit,
and
you guys, what a cute, if they named it even after something South Asian, which there's already a name for it, if they were like, we love dupattas.
Or if they called it a lenga, like even like when like, not like the abayas that have become like super trendy and stuff. Like I feel like abayas are going to keep becoming like trendier and trendier with like the trad wife modest like direction anyway lately.
Right.
And so I feel like, but it's called a kaftan and an abaya. Like that's what it's called. And even like all these brands tried to do weird shit where they would literally have abayas on their page and not call it that. But Yeah, just the like weird undertone of like it's like a massive section of the world and a massive presence in design, in fashion. Like if you are someone that is a designer, you're playing stupid. You know that this is something that's South Asian inspired. So like why you're then renaming it is fucking weird.
To rename it is so strange, and then to try to sell it as something other than what it is so strange, and then to mimic the same designs is so strange. Just call it for what it is. And no one would have an issue.
Call it the lenga trend. Call it the like, whatever.
We love lengas, blah, blah, blah. We would be like, yeah, that's and, so
these are the type of people where if someone is like, oh, I think that's really cute. We're like, come here.
Yeah,
I'll give you mine. What do you want to do? We are like the kings and queens of appropriating.
Yeah, like, we're like take it. Everything. We want you to wear it. We want you to do it. So yeah, it's not that difficult. And I looked up traditional Scandinavian clothing. It looks like, like a very Jub We Met situation. Like that is not at all close to Scandinavian.
And just because it's this cutesy, dainty, it's so cute. It's always been so cute. And some of them are literally giving, the movies like the Kareena Kapoor type movies we would watch in the early 2000s. That's what it's giving.
That's exactly what it is. And there's
the tank tops, the little thin like lilac purple type. Like that's literally what it is. I remember
there was there's a movie that Marilyn Monroe was in, and she's wearing this really pretty gown and she's wearing a dupatta, and I remember being like, oh my god, she's wearing a dupatta, how cute. So like it's not like this style hasn't been around. Just call it for what it is.
Just call it for what it is.
Call it for what it is. Stop pretending. It's not Scandinavian. It's actually, you know what? Where are the Scandinavians? Because I feel like they haven't said anything. Because if I was Scandinavian and someone was like, that's a Scandinavian dupatta, I'd be like, no, it's not.
Period.
That's not the outfit. This is the outfit. Like I would be a little offended on that end too, because it's not. So
yeah, like just exactly call it for what it is. But yeah, we'll keep seeing what goes down with that. Okay. Ready to wrap?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I didn't even realize the time.
So that was everything for this week. We'll see you guys next week. Keep dropping the anonymous tips for us because we didn't do tips. Yeah. Keep dropping the confessions because we didn't do a confession this week because we wanted to do like what's going on in the world. We're going to do confessions next week. So join us next week and we'll see you guys soon.
Bye.